The ocean and surrounding waterways are full of creatures that can make you regret ever jumping into their domain. Sharks are the most famous ones, and they are also the most hated. But if there is one animal that is even more dangerous than sharks, it is this one. Out of all the animals we have ever covered, hippos are definitely one of the strangest. They don't live in the ocean, but they are extremely good swimmers. And although they are not the fastest runners on land, they are still very dangerous to humans. In fact, hippos are responsible for hundreds of deaths every single year. So what makes these strange creatures so dangerous? Are they just big and mean, or is there more to it than that? Well, sit back, relax, and get ready to find out why hippos are the most vicious animals you didn't know about. Starting off at number 10, we have their size. Even though hippos aren't the biggest land mammals, they are pretty heavy. To be more exact, they can weigh anywhere between 3,000 and 6,000 pounds. That's as heavy as 2 adult black bears. Now, imagine what would happen if one of those bears attacked you. Well, now imagine 2 of them attacking you at once. You wouldn't stand a chance. And that's exactly how dangerous hippos can be when they attack. Also, keep in mind that they are way stronger than us too, so even if you manage to climb up a tree, the hippo could simply yank you down with its enormous jaws. But speaking of their jaws, let's move on to number 9. Here we have their bite force. As we all know, hippos have really big mouths and they use them to chomp on their food. But have you ever wondered how powerful their bite actually is? Well, according to National Geographic, their bite force is estimated to be between 500 and 800 psi. To put that into perspective, a lion has a bite force of around 650 psi. And even though that might not seem like much, keep in mind that lions can easily take down and eat other animals. So that should show you how strong a hippo's jaws are. It would be like if someone bit down on your hand with the force of an alligator. That's why even though hippos don't actively hunt other animals, they can easily kill prey while they are eating or defend themselves against predators. Moving on at number 8, we have the speed. We already mentioned that hippos aren't fast on land, but surprisingly they are amazing swimmers. Hippos can move through water at incredible speeds. They can do 5 miles per hour, which is faster than most humans can run. And even though they are slow on land, they can cover great distances while swimming. For example, they often cross the Zambezi River to feed on the other side. And sometimes they travel up to 10 kilometers per night. Imagine seeing one of those massive creatures coming towards you at top speed. It would definitely be quite scary. But moving on to number 7, we have their intelligence. Even though hippos might seem like slow and dim-witted creatures, they are actually very intelligent. In fact, scientists believe that they are as smart as dogs. And this is very important for their survival. For example, hippos recognize themselves in the mirror, which shows that they are self-aware. And this is a sign of high intelligence. Plus, hippos are known to have really good memories. They can remember the location of water holes during droughts, and they can remember people who have been kind to them. On the other hand, they also have a great memory when it comes to revenge. If you have ever provoked one of these animals before, they won't forget it anytime soon. And that brings us to the next point, which is their revenge. Hippos are known to have very long memories, and they can hold grudges for years. This means that if you have ever done anything that made a hippo angry, they will never forgive you, and they will wait years until they get a chance to take their revenge. It is said that hippos are capable of planning their attacks and waiting for hours just to take their revenge on whoever bothered them. And trust me, you don't want to mess with a creature like that. That is why many locals try to avoid hippos at all costs, because you never know what they might do. Now, even though hippos are usually solitary creatures, sometimes they band together to fight common enemies. Speaking of that, at number 5, we have the aggression. Hippos are known to be extremely aggressive creatures, and they can become even more violent when they are in groups. For example, hippos are known to attack crocodiles in order to steal their food. And hippos in groups are capable of taking down large predators such as lions and tigers. In fact, it is said that hippos kill more people every year than any other large African land predator. So you can imagine how dangerous they can be. Plus, they are territorial animals, and they will attack anyone who invades their space. So if you are ever near a hippo and it starts getting aggressive, then run away as fast as you can. Moving on at number 4, we have their horns. Now, even though we call them horns, they are actually incisors. These are the teeth in the front of their mouth, and they are incredibly sharp. As you can see, they grow outwards and they can grow up to 20 inches long. These are not the only sharp objects on their mouth though. Their canines are also very dangerous. They can grow up to 2 feet long and they are perfect for stabbing other animals. But even if the hippo doesn't use its teeth to attack, it can still do some serious damage. Their teeth are not smooth, so they can easily cut other animals while they are chewing on their food. And as we mentioned before, hippos don't need to actually attack an animal in order to kill it. Sometimes just being close enough is enough. At number 3, we have their sweat. Hippo sweat isn't actually sweat, but it is a red-colored secretion that comes from glands on their skin. The purpose of this substance is to protect them from flies and mosquitoes, but it has another purpose too. According to some experts, this liquid may contain pheromones and it helps hippos attract females and identify each other. But even though this liquid is good for hippos, it can be very bad for humans. That's because the liquid is considered toxic and it can cause blisters and rashes on human skin. And if that wasn't enough, hippo sweat can also lead to eye and ear infections. And it gets worse. People who work with hippos often develop allergies because of their sweat. So if you are ever working with these creatures, you better protect yourself. Moving on to number 2, we have their poop. Even though hippo poop might look funny, it is actually deadly. That's because hippo poop contains parasites that can kill other animals. And to make things worse, they are known to leave their poop right where they eat. This means that the parasite can easily spread around and infect other hippos. And even though humans don't get infected by the same parasites as hippos do, we can still suffer from their poop. That's because they leave their poop in the water and then people drink that water. In fact, some communities rely on rivers for drinking water and they don't treat it or purify it. So they are vulnerable to hippo parasites. And this is why hundreds of people die from hippo poop every single year. Finally, at number 1, we have their tempers. Out of everything we have mentioned so far, this is probably the most important thing you should know about hippos. That's because their tempers are unpredictable and they can snap at any given moment. This means that you can't reason with them and you can't escape their wrath. They are extremely volatile creatures and even the smallest trigger can set them off. For example, hippos are known to attack people just because they were taking a picture of them. Can you imagine how terrifying that is? You are just trying to capture a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and the animal decides to attack you. Well, that's what happens when you mess with hippos. And unlike other animals, they don't warn you before they strike. They just attack and hope you don't survive. So now you know why hippos are the most dangerous animals you didn't know about. Although they aren't the most famous creatures, they are definitely one of the most ruthless. And we don't think many people can argue with that. But now we want to hear from you. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching and see you next time.